Day 575 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 3512, minimum operations to make array sum divisible by k. The difficulty level is easy, so don't worry because you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as well. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go in and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. You are given an integer array nums and an integer k. You can perform the following operation any number of times. Select an index I and replace nums of I with nums of I minus 1. Return the minimum number of operations required to make the sum of array divisible by k. All right, y'all, so that sounds simple enough, but let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have our input nums equals an array of integers 3, 9, 7, and k equals 5. That means we want to perform this operation right here on this array as many times as we can until the sum of this array is divisible by 5. So it tells us the output is 4. That means it took 4 operations. The explanation says we perform 4 operations on nums of I. Now nums equals 3, 5, and 7. Now nums equals an array of integers 3, 5, and 7. The sum is 15, which is divisible by 5. So let's break that down one step further, right? So we're going to perform the operations on this 9 right here. We're going to subtract 1 from 9 4 times. After we subtract 1 from 9, because once again we're replacing nums of I with nums of I minus 1. That's the operation. So we perform this operation, and all that is subtracting 1 from I, or 1 from 9. We subtract 1 4 times. Now we're left with 3, 5, and 7. So this 9 turns into a 5 because we subtracted 1 from it 4 times. Boom. Then when we add these numbers together, 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 is divisible by 5, so that's what we were looking for. That was the minimum number of operations, so our output is 4 because it took 4 operations. Now, just in case that didn't make sense, let's take a look at example 2. In example 2, our input nums equals an array of integers 4, 1, and 3. This time k equals 4. The output is 0. Explanation says the sum is 8, which is already divisible by 4, hence no operations are needed. So in this case, 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 is already divisible by k, which is 4. So since we don't need to perform any operations, we perform 0 operations, so our output is 0. Now let's take a look at example 3. In example 3, our input nums equals an array of integers 3 and 2, k equals 6. The output is 5. It says we perform 3 operations on nums of 0, which equals 3, and 2 operations on nums of 1, which is equal to 2. Now nums equals 0, 0. The sum of 0, which is divisible, the sum is 0, which is divisible by 6. So what they did here, they just performed 3 operations here, turned that into 0, performed 3 operations here, and turned that into 0. And y'all, and now the array will be left as 0, 0. The sum of 0, 0 is 0, and so 0 is divisible by 6. It's just going to give you another 0, so the output is 5 because it took 5 operations to turn this into 0 and this into 0. So I hope that makes sense to y'all, and now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution. Solution is not that difficult at all, y'all. So, and guess what? We got a one-liner. That's right, y'all. We can finish this in one line of code. So let's get into it. And all that is we are going to say nums dot reduce, open up the parentheses. We're going to say 0, comma, plus. Sorry, y'all. Where's the plus? I was looking for the plus sign. Then we're going to come outside of that and we're going to say mod k, y'all. That's all we are going to do. So now what this is going to do is it's going to take nums, it's going to start from 0, and it's going to add up all of the elements in nums. So it's going to get the sum of nums. Then it's going to divide that by k, and that Whatever that remainder is going to be our answer. So this right here is going to give us the remainder. So if the remainder is equal to 4, that means we need to do 4 operations. If the remainder is equal to 2, that means we need to do 2 operations. And if the remainder is equal to 1, that means we need to do 1 operation. So that's how this line works. Let's go ahead and give it a run. Make sure it runs properly before we submit it. Let's see, it's accepted. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted after we submit it. And look at that, y'all. 0 milliseconds beats 100% of users. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, y'all. So with that being said, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.